Hello and welcome back to my channel, Divine Libra Wisdom. I'm back again with the weekly check-in readings for the start of the new year, or at least the first week of the new year. But I wanted to pick these back up again because I, for one, took a little break and I wanted to get back into the swing of things. I'm kind of, and I didn't mention this in the other readings, but I'm back, or at least I'm in a position now where things have kind of smoothed out for me, especially like starting a job and all the things. So yeah, so I'm back again, right? Like I never left. No, just kidding. But yeah, I just wanted to get back on, on top of things. But I will, new pick-up power readings, new and fresh, will be coming soon. I will, and I keep saying, but I will be doing a all signs reading, so everyone will get a chance to have their sign focused on, every single sign. I will also do the elemental readings, the monthly ones for the month. We'll be 5 days into the new year, but I will get it out there, I promise. I will just have to, get into the kind of the swing of things. And I wanted to enjoy my holiday season as well as my break from doing this, but I'm back again, like I said, and things will pick back up and be more consistent, all that jazz. Yeah, so let me get all my disclaimers out of the way. As you can see, this is the Cancer weekly check-in. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so that way when I drop new videos. If you're returning to the channel, thank you so much for tuning in again, and subscribing. But if in the off chance you just kind of happen to come back to my video or back to my channel rather, but you're not subscribed, definitely consider subscribing, so again you'll know when I drop new videos. Okay. Yeah, as you listen along, make sure you're liking the video, make sure you're sharing the video with people who may have these placements, or they just like tarot and they like to listen. Leave a comment down in the comment section of the video so that way I know that you're rocking with me. Or if you don't feel like, especially if the video resonates, right, the messages are resonating with you, you can let me know how it resonates if you feel comfortable sharing. If not, you can just leave a cute emoji down in the comment section. And I told Libra to leave like a dancing panda, or the panda, or a rainbow, or either, whatever they want. Tauruses, I asked for them to leave like little star emojis or whatever they want. So Cancers, I'm going to ask you all to leave the moon emojis down in the comment section, whichever you like, because Cancer or the moon is represented for Cancer. Yeah, so whatever you want to leave down in the comment section, just as long as it's polite. And we ain't gotta act ignorant, okay? Because I don't do negative comments, okay? I don't do that. But yeah, so let me keep going. Sorry, my ear is itching. Somebody may be talking about y'all because my ear is itching. And whenever your ear is itching, that means somebody talking about you. So yeah, first channel message for Cancers right there. All the decks that I'm using, they will be in a description box. I do have a new deck that I'm using, well, 2 new decks actually. So we have the Witching Hour Oracle, who is by all the things, information will be in the description box for this. I also have some affirmation cards. These don't have an author on it, but they are distributed by Kalan. I got them from Five Below. So yeah, like the information that you need will be down in the description box. If you want to book a personal reading with me, that will also be in the description box below. In the unlikely event that someone is pretending to be me, which I don't think anyone would, since I'm still fairly new with doing this, but if they are, please don't get got. I don't solicit people for readings. You have to contact me to get a reading, and I do charge for personal readings, okay? So yeah, don't get got. If you want to book a personal reading with me, like I said, there's steps in order to do that. So just be mindful of that. And if you have asked for a reading and I just have not seen it, maybe it went to my spam, and I try to check my spam. But if I don't see it, tell me in the comment section of the video, hey, I reached out to get a reading. And we'll go from there. And I'll check my email just to confirm, because folks can play like that too. So again, like I said, just try not to get got, okay? Because unfortunately, people don't play fair, okay? So yeah, I just like to put that out there. But anything else you want to know, any other questions, concerns, comments, it can be left in the comment section, and I will get to it and try to answer it the best of my ability. Oh, and if there is a specific deck of cards, tarot or oracle, that you would like me to use, you can put that in the description box, so that I can get it eventually. I'm going to work on putting my like an Amazon wish list or something like that there, so that if you would like to gift a deck for me to work with, I can do that as well. And make sure that your name is on like a receipt or something. Maybe you could, if it's like a gift in the packaging, you can put for who it's from and stuff like that. So but yeah, just as long as your name is like on it and something like that, I will give you a personal reading just as a thank you for gifting me a deck. Okay, so I'm gonna work on that, and definitely we'll go from there. Okay, so Cancers, let's see if we have any other channeled messages for you to come out. Ooh, looks like they want to come out, so okay. Actually, I feel like that's kind of secondary. So Cancers, you get a additional oracle card. Look at you. Okay, so don't tell the other signs. Don't tell them, because I didn't pull the extra, but it felt like you needed 4 for some reason, and I always go with my gut. Okay. Also, I will go back to using the affirmation cards that I've used, that I usually use, which are my little handwritten ones, and don't come from my handwriting, but I will use them interchangeably. I just like to switch things up and use new decks and things that I get a feel for, that I'm drawn to. I will use them in my readings and whatnot. Okay, channel messages, additional. Cancers, let's see. And I feel like this past, I think it was a full moon. I think it was our first super moon. Yeah, the moon is in Cancer, so you all could be very, you could really be feeling like, being home, being close, like you want the comfort of home. So, you may be all, Cancers may be reluctantly coming off of their break, the holiday break. So you may you may want some additional days to kind of relax and things of that nature. But yeah, so I don't know how in the heck I cut myself right here. Anyway, ain't no telling. I don't know, maybe some of y'all got paper cuts or some shit. I don't know. but yeah, I really feel like Cancers, you all could be really in feeling your emotions right now. You could really want to be like to yourself at home, especially with the moon. Like I said, the moon having been in Cancer, and I think it's still in Cancer if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not really too sure, but I think it is still there. But you could also be very like where Libras in their reading they were feeling kind of nostalgic. I feel like you all are more so you want to be close, like you may be calling on like your ancestors, family members who have passed on. You may be thinking about them a lot um, during this time, especially coming, like I said, coming off of the holiday break. You could have really been, in your heart center, thinking about your, past loved ones. Thinking about how the holiday season, Christmas, New Year's was, what in the past. Um, that could be your nostalgia, if that makes sense. Um, but nonetheless, I really feel like you all are very like, in your emotions. Um, very like I just feel like you're very home and hearth. You really just want you're very heart centered right now. Very focused on the heart, matters of the heart. So yeah, that's where you all are. I heard the word grief. Some cancers could be you could be experiencing grief right now. Especially if you kind of took inventory, reflecting on the previous year, all that transpired. It could be part of your grief. It may be like Taurus, which what came out in Taurus was maybe having a good cry if you need to. I'm also hearing like put something to bed. So maybe there's something that you need to, maybe there's something that you need to put to rest, get rid of. And it could be like, what am I trying to say? Like old emotions, old wounds. Maybe there's some closure that needs to happen in some kind of way. Yeah. Put to bed. I'm really getting that. Sorry for all the clearing of the throat and all that. Yeah, I just kind of get with Cancer, especially, I just get kind of a heaviness for some of you, like with the grief and the holidays. Maybe the holiday season can bring up old wounds and, not so great memories, especially surrounding Christmas. I'm really getting that strongly. Christmas could really be a trigger for some of you. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cancers, if you can take some additional days before, you're returning to work, returning to school, whatever the case, take that, and just kind of, make sure that you're, in a good state of mind before, returning back to work, returning to school, all the things, if you can help it. Like, say, maybe you can use some of your PTO time. Maybe you can, elect to work from home if you need to. Maybe, just try to do those things. Or, if you become overwhelmed with certain things, like if you, start thinking about the not so good things, especially when you're in the middle of doing something important, try to give yourself like a chance to maybe go to the bathroom, or close your door to your office, or, you know, maybe go sit in your car and just, you know, for a few minutes and just kind of try to self-regulate. You know what I mean? Just suggestions. You know, I'm not a professional in any capacity when it comes to, you know, any type of mental health things, but I do know some things that work for me personally. So that is what I would try to do if I were getting overwhelmed, or if I couldn't take any additional days, you know, to kind of get myself together. I would, you know, just try to find little moments where I could kind of go off to the side, off to myself, and just try to kind of get myself together. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's get into these cards. I don't want to be too heavy. Too heavy, but yeah. I definitely understand the feeling of grief. I definitely get that. So, interesting. Yeah. Interesting enough, one of the oracle cards that is out right now, actually two came out in Taurus's reading. So, some of you, again, or some of you may have Taurus placements. So maybe you might want to go check out, that reading. Sorry. Okay. So the way that I do this, right, it is going to go by columns. So start of the week, midweek, end of the week. Okay. All right. So let's get into these cards, and then I will read your affirmation card, or I will read the additional oracle cards since 4 I felt wanted to come out, and then I'll read your affirmation card. Okay. And we'll wrap up the reading. All right. So the start of the week, you have renewal, number 20 in the tarot, and it says review and evaluate, a favorable assessment of the facts, time to move in a new direction. So I mentioned reflecting. So yeah, some of you, yeah, like at the start of the week, I really feel like you're you know, thinking about renewal. All the re's, it's kind of like being in Mercury retrograde, where you know, have to go back over certain things. Excuse me. Like you have to go back and review things. You may be mulling over things that transpired in the past. But I feel like whatever it is that you're rehashing, it could be like keeping you stuck in the same like cycle, especially an emotional cycle, if that makes sense. Excuse me. And you may need to, if you need to seek out help, I would say do that. But maybe what would help is journaling your feelings out, like writing it all out, whatever it is you're feeling, whatever it is you're reminiscing on, so that way you can get it all out, and you can make sense of what it is that you're feeling. Okay. And this could be like, if you are, you know, going back to work, which, you know, most people are, maybe you need to do some kind of assessment, or you will be made to do an assessment of some sort, but it'll turn out in your favor. So, you know, if you have any like contention with that, or having to do it, it'll work out just fine. So yeah, and moving in a new direction. So yeah. Find it funny too that in both of these cards, the two figures are sort of like dancing. So with that, you have dance. That's the name of the card down here. It's number, oh wow, 2020. Huh. Maybe something happened in 2020 for you all. I mean, I know that was the vid happening then, but maybe that could allude to your grief. I'm not sure. Take it as it resonates, okay? But yeah, I think 2020 may be significant, or those numbers are significant in some way. Maybe you should look up the 2020 or 20, um, those angel numbers and how they, you know, come up, what they come up with. But anyway, so yeah, it says dance, freedom. That's what the card looks like, and I don't know if I showed this one. Yes, it's backwards, but this is what it looks like. But whenever, you know, and I was just looking at something that said, dancing when you feel, you know, maybe, you know, when you're filled with grief, maybe you're dealing with depression at the moment. Getting up and dancing can kind of help alleviate some of that grief, some of that pressure, you know. That can help. Also, getting up and getting dressed, making yourself do something, get out the house, can help you sort of put you in better spirits. It doesn't, you know, remedy the situation or the issue, but it helps you to kind of, you know, at least put your grief on pause for a little bit, just to feel a little bit better. So I feel like, you know, getting up and dancing, moving your body can help release some of that stress, some of that heartache. And you do have heartache over here. But yeah, it can alleviate some of that. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's the start of the week. So about midweek, and let me see here, who the signs you're dealing with. The moon is out here. I think that's the moon. No, that's more like the sun. Sorry. So you could be, either you have fire in your birth chart, or you could be dealing with fire signs, water signs. Yeah, see some more water here. Maybe possibly air signs, because this kind of gives me air sign vibes over here. But yeah, so what did I say? Fire, water, possibly air is what signs you could be dealing with, or you have those placements in your chart. But yeah, there's a need to kind of cleanse as well. But dancing can be healing and cleansing. So maybe take the opportunity to do that. You know, if you're feeling away, feeling kind of in your feelings, get up and dance and just try to alleviate some of that pressure. Okay, so midweek you have for water, and it says missing an opportunity, discontentment, or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. And this person, it looks like, I mean, you have heartache down here, but then you also have like this mermaid is kind of looks like they have their hand on a rock or a wall or something underwater, and they kind of like bent over, like in grief and heartache. So it goes, and this is a water card, so Cancers are water signs. So yeah, you could be very like in your feelings, very emotional during this time, and or you could just be you could just have like kind of a kind of like melancholy, like humdrum kind of outlook on life. And this card is sort of like asking you to open yourself up to what if, you know, what if things could be different, you know, what could I do to make things different, you know what I mean? So yeah. And it's also it's funny because what's aligned, the oracle card that's aligned with this is invocations, the power of words. Your words are very powerful, and that was, I believe, this card came out in Taurus's reading, I believe, as well as the elements. So yeah, you need to be very, very mindful of the things that you are saying to yourself and about your situations, because you can unintentionally bring on something that you do not want, as opposed to what it is that you do want. Okay. So on here it says, I recognize the power of my words and use them for the good of all. So yeah, just be mindful of what you're saying, especially as it pertains to whatever is causing you grief. Like I said, I mentioned that it could have been like something to do with members who or family members who may have passed on. It could be, you have 2020 out here. That year could be significant, and it could be something that you're thinking about that happened during that time, and that was a very, very trying time. 2024 for a lot of people, and 2025 was a very trying time. We're in unprecedented times. I can't even say the word, unprecedented times. Or let's just say uncertain. We're in very uncertain times. Things are very like freaking crazy. The things that are happening, and things can feel very up in the air. So, but again, we don't know what's down the line, but at the same time, we need to be kind of mindful of how we're treating ourselves, how we're talking to ourselves, all that. So just be mindful by midweek, okay? By the end of the week, you have the Queen of Fire, which would be the Queen of Wands in the original tarot. And this says confident, warm, intelligent, graceful. And it says stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. So, yeah. So with this card, and then it goes to this card, I feel like watching your words, turning your words, into like a wand in a way, because it's invocations. So this is like speaking things into existence that you want. Not speaking or thinking about things that you don't want, I'm a strong advocate of that. Like, you have to be mindful of your words. You have to be mindful of your thoughts, because you can, if you start thinking the wrong thing, you can make that a reality for yourself, and that is not what you want. So yeah, so just, have some confidence in yourself. Focus on things that bring you joy and make you happy, so you're not, stuck. Because I get the energy of some, being in kind of like an endless emotional loop regarding a certain situation. And that's why you have this card down here, broken branch, and it's heartache, number 29. This is number 31. So all these numbers could be significant. You have 12 here, but sorry. All these, numbers could be significant. So you may want to check them out. As far as like, searching angel numbers. If you believe in that. I'm not trying to push it on anyone. It's just, if you believe in that, then that would be something to look up. Sorry, y'all. This also, for some reason, this kind of makes me think of like Head in the Clouds thing. So, yeah. Again, with a heartache, I mentioned, again, that Cancers, you all may feel, you may be dealing with grief. You may be feeling a heartache regarding a situation, but with it aligning with the Queen of Fire here, it's asking you to see how you can creatively transmute that hurt and that pain. Figure out ways to channel that grief into something else. Put it into something creative. Write it out. Paint it out. Do something that brings you joy, so that you can focus that energy into something else and make it beautiful. Okay? So, the last oracle card we have here that came out additional was the elements, and it's back to the basics. I feel like this is like muses or your ancestors, angels, that type of thing, whatever you believe in. Sort of like surrounding you, being with you, and just kind of like being there as, support, like letting you know that, grief, it doesn't last always, number one. And no, you don't ever get over the things that, cause you heartache. But at the same time, you can't allow those things that happen to stunt you, to stop you, So, yeah, like I said again, I'm going to reiterate, try to find ways to channel hurt, heartache, grief, all the words to describe that. Find a way to kind of channel that into something creative that will bring you joy, peace, and happiness, and even maybe possibly get you recognized, you know what I mean, for your efforts. And it could change your life, you know what I mean? So think of it that way, or I'm not trying to tell you how to think, but if you ask, I would like to suggest that you try to do that, try to do something with the grief. Whenever I feel overwhelmed, overstimulated, or I feel some grief, I try to do something that brings me joy, whether it be having one of my favorite treats, whether it be reading a good book, whether it be watching a favorite pastime movie, coloring, listening to some good music, watching a good movie, whatever, or taking myself out like on a solo date or something like that. I try to do something to channel that energy that I'm feeling into something else. Okay, so just a suggestion. I hope that helps. All right, so to wrap your reading up, Cancer, here, and this is for the week of June. Maybe June is significant, I don't know. January 5th, maybe it could be June 2020 that something happened, I don't know. But nonetheless, our affirmation card here for you all Cancers is today, and you can apply this for the week. Today or this week, I feel good. This week, I know deep down that I look good. I feel good, and I am a good person. I'm going to say it again. Today or this week, I feel good. Today or this week rather, I know deep down that I look good, feel good, and I am a good person. All right. And though this is what it looks like, it is backwards. I'm going to get a good camera, okay? As opposed to using my phone. But anyway, so that was your reading, Cancers. I hope that it resonated. If it did, like the video, share the video, leave me a comment down in the comment section if it resonated, if you feel comfortable sharing. If not, or sharing how it resonated, I'm sorry, if you feel comfortable doing so. If not, I completely understand. You can just leave a cute emoji down in the comment section, which I believe I asked you all to leave some moon emojis down in the comment section, and subscribe to the channel, share the video like I said, and just do all the things, y'all. Just do all the things, and look forward to new fresh videos coming soon, which would be pickup house. I'm going to do the elemental readings for the elements, and all signs readings. Those will be coming down the pipeline, okay? And I think that is it. I will see you next week. Have a good night. Bye, Cancers.